All right, welcome to another episode of the Prep Coach podcast. We are back in Scotty's gym. It's been a while. It's been a long time. It's been an eventful week. There wasn't an episode that came out last week. Now we're traveling back from Bali anyways. We're thinking about doing it. We ended up landing at like
4:30 or something.
4 a.m. in the morning on Wednesday to then run a potty that day after we all had to get back to work as well.
Man, I started
gonna
work,
be a
I
push.
started work at 6.
Yeah, so you had no sleep?
I literally went straight
So
to
you,
work.
you texted me at like 5:15 saying today's gonna be fucking brutal.
I went straight to work.
Yeah.
Did you sleep or not?
No,
So you didn't go to sleep? No, because
I would have got 15 minutes. Like,
Because on the plane-
oh, Willow, won't I?
In the plane, he sat next. Well, we sat us three.
Yeah, I didn't sleep.
yeah,
We didn't sleep. He slept a little bit, but he was on and off.
Actually, that's right. Yeah.
He was on and off.
it was brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't a good time.
And that was only the start.
That was the
You know
beginning.
what? At least we got on the plane. Can you imagine if it was 12 hours
Yeah.
later? It would have been a shit show.
So tell us what happened, MG, after you got home.
Far out, man. I landed. I think Scotty dropped me off at about 4:45, 4:30, 4:45, maybe just before that. And I was like, do I sleep knowing that I've got to be at the gym at 6? It's pointless. Have a shower, triple coffee sachet, 350 caffeine straight down. Didn't even touch the sides, man. Like falling asleep on the way to the gym. Ran a class. It's fine. Once you're in there, you're totally fine. But you remember, during the Bali retreat, I was making some comments about like feeling some things that in hindsight now make a lot of sense. But the main one that stands out to me was how was sitting in the taxi and I had this upper abdominal pain.
Mhm.
And I was like, it was those chest supported T-bar rows, really, really, on the heavier sets where I would really wrap my chest sternum around the pad and just like try and let the traps out as much as I could and have the biggest stretch. I was like, it's got to be that. Plus, I'm in Bali. Even though our food was amazing, nobody had any issues. You're in Bali. You always think you're going to have some digestive discomfort. So every little sign of anything that was going on was easily explainable in my mind. So we didn't think anything of it. Went to work that morning, totally fine. Came home, back to check-ins. Life was normal. Tired as hell, but back for the night shift. Got there at 4 o'clock. Still totally fine. Had some yogurt. Again, felt fine. At 6 o'clock, it's just sort of started to creep back in, almost identical to what I was sort of complaining about when we were in the taxi. It's like, I haven't really eaten anything, but again, I just got back from Bali, haven't slept. It's fine. So call it a 1 to 2 out of 10 pain. Finished the class at 7:30 p.m. Walked in the door at 8:15, and it was now about a 3 or a 4. And it started right here, right at the bottom of my sternum, and was referring around my right side of my ribs towards. It felt like it was across my ribcage.
Okay.
Serratus, and then into sort of the lower part of my like lat trap, even top of my erector. So I was like, it's all right, you're tired. Let's go back from Bali, eat something. Even made me chicken and rice. First tablespoon, I was like, I can't do this. Not nausea, I can't swallow it. I can't stomach it. Second tablespoon, I'm like, maybe I can't eat this. I'm just going to go lie down. I'll go to bed. I need sleep.
Mhm.
Been in Bali, all these reasons why
Yeah.
why it was happening. I got in bed at about 8:50. And as I said on my story, as Scotty says, fuck, it went from 6 to midnight real fucking fast, man. That 4 out of 10 by 10 p.m. was 7 to 8
Shit.
to the point where I got up, me was now asleep, and I was curled over in the lounge room sitting on the couch. I couldn't get a comfortable position. It's like, maybe I've eaten something. Never have indigestion. Never taken a Mylanta or a Gaviscon in my life. Put it to the medicine cabinet, 2 chewable Mylantas. I'm like, yeah, cool. No change. 2 chamomile teas, no change. By now it's about midnight. And yeah, I'm pretty high on the pain scale, and I'm like, this is not right. So I called nurse on call, which for me is big move. I'm always like, she'll be right, as most of us are. Told the nurse all of my symptoms, and just with previous history and everything, they're like, we can call you an ambulance right now. And I was like, fuck. Tali's asleep. My dog's a psychopath. Fucking lights and all this. I was like, it's all good. My mum just got here. She's gonna drive me. I'll get my own way there. Obviously, my mum wasn't there, but I'm just going to deal with this myself. So I just grabbed my keys, jumped in the car, and down the ring road, and to John Faulkner, which was good because even though the Austin's really close to my house, the nurse on call was able to tell me that the wait time was over 4 hours.
Jesus.
And I've got private health. Probably they would have admitted me with my symptoms anyway, but I wasn't in a state to want to deal with that and sit in the waiting rooms for the sake of the money. I'm just like, I'm going to private. Got admitted in 1 minute. And yeah, man, from that point onwards, kind of a bit of a blur. They put me on pain meds pretty much instantaneously. Some pretty strong stuff, which, I was dozing in and out, but they needed to do that in order to manage the symptoms so that we can find out what's going on. One of the things that I remember was lying down on the bed. They're like, we're going to give you some pain relief because we need to get on top of this so we can start to treat it. And I remember the nurse being like, oh, we're going to give you a drip with fentanyl, right? And in my brain, I'm like, whoa, it's fucking 6 to midnight real fast. So that seems too extreme for me.
Yeah.
Like going straight to that. So I was like, whoa, no, wait, slow down. Is there something we could take in between Panadol and fentanyl? Like, surely there's a...
in between there.
Like that, being somewhat health conscious, I was like, oh, if it's needed, it's needed. But it just seemed too quick for me. And, then they sort of did some testing, like as in some push testing, because all the referrals here, bearing in mind your appendix is down here.
They would have been palpating below,
so,
and it would have been tender as fuck.
So surgeon came in and just like 2-finger palpated, and fuck, man, I jumped off the table like,
fuck.
And he's like, "You fucking having fentanyl right now." They did an ultrasound, which was inconclusive, just because you guys know I was reasonably lean, but just everything, the bowel in there, it's really hard to see, so they couldn't diagnose it on the ultrasound. I did a CT scan. I did bloods, I did urines, I did everything. They thought it was gallstones. They were going to look at my gallbladder. And then, just the surgeon came in and did some testing. He's like, we're going in right now. So that was... so I admitted myself at 1 a.m. Wednesday, and I went under the knife at 11 p.m. Thursday.
Yeah, because it's that night, because I know you messaged us and said, yeah.
And that whole time, I wasn't allowed to eat or drink anything, not even a sip of water. Because if they wanted to do that surgery with nothing in me, it's so much better.
Yeah.
To the point, I remember saying to the nurse, can I just have the water to swish around? I'll spit it out. And they're like, no, you won't spit it out. I was like, no, I promise I won't spit it. So, yeah, man, it was just crazy. It's not what I expected. Grateful that it happened. If there's a silver lining, I'm grateful that it happened when it did 24 hours earlier. And it's you guys' problem, which we've been there before. So, that was good. But, anyone who's followed me or knows me, and I've had a pretty shitty run with injury-like stuff. None of them have been crazy or major knees and this stuff, but just another little setback, man. No weights for 6 weeks, which is a little bit annoying because I've got to say I came home from Bali pretty fucking pumped. I had some great sessions that week. Food was on point. I was happy with the way I was looking. I was in a good place, but this week's been tough. Probably my headspace post, I think it was a combination of all the medication.
Yeah.
I can't take endone or pain relief like that because it makes me really nauseous. So a combination of all the anesthetic, all the drugs that they were giving me, then coming home and not really being able to move or do anything. But again, man, time heals all, and I'm in a much better headspace with it now. I'll take the time to just give the body a break. Nothing's changed food-wise. I'm the exact same stuff. And hopefully come back, 4 to 6 weeks from now with a level of motivation and desire to fucking get back in the gym like never before. That's kind of the silver lining and message and reframing I'm giving to myself in this instance. But it's a very common thing. But yeah, just one hurdle after the other, it's felt like lately. But
that's correct. When you think about it, the Tuesday was the last day of the retreat. We got up for a 7 a.m. beach walk, I think it was. So that's the last time you were in a bed asleep. And then obviously by the time we got home was the next morning at 4 a.m. You had no sleep, straight to work.
Yeah, no sleep basically until midnight Thursday.
Thursday, when you know you're going to go into the surgery.
And no food or water for
crazy.
So I was even me was like, can you just have a little bit? He won't swallow it. He won't swallow it.
Chew ice.
They were really.
So sometimes we have fighters that need to cut weight and they're just so thirsty. If you're just crunching on ice, as long as they don't swallow it, can help basically switch off the receptors in your mouth to say your brain. Again, it's very, very intermittently because it comes back very fast.
Body's fine.
You're okay. But
the other thing that happened was when they did give me the pain relief, which was the fentanyl via drip, I got insanely nauseous and filled up two bags. Not that I had much in me, but I filled up 2 bags from insane, intense, immediate nausea.
Oh, really?
Just vomiting.
Yeah.
Oh, vomiting.
And then they had to put another, I think it was some sort of steroid in the drip to address the nausea. That be right?
Yeah, probably. Because the other thing they would have been mindful of is if you're vomiting, you're also losing fluid. So then you're going under the knife and you're dehydrated.
Yeah, I think I had 5 bags in that 16
bags.
No, 5 bags of fluid.
Fluid.
And 4 bags of antibiotics.
Well, they would have done that, putting it in via IV, obviously. That way it doesn't have to go through, the digestive system. But fuck.
Jesus. That's crazy. So you got 3 incisions, right? Yeah, wow.
Yeah, so the appendix is down here. This is actually the most painful one. The one that they use
through the belly button.
Yeah. So this is actually feels really sore. You can see how much fluid's in there.
Yeah.
And when I came out of hospital, I've got this photo on my phone. I look like as lean as I was, but just with this baby sack. Like it was so acute to that area. It almost looked like someone had stitched it on.
Yeah,
this sack of fluid.
You think about what all that trauma is, you just get that massive cascade of inflammatory responses, and so all of that is there because you've got all of those,
the trauma.
All of the damage that's gone down there. You've got all of those markers there that have come to try and obviously attenuate it. So it's fucking
So
I'm just looking. The bottom one there looks really sore, where the lower incision and obviously a little bit of bleeding there. When do you have to change your dressings, or they just?
I've actually got them in my bag. They say 1 to 2 weeks. This is day 5 post.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's ready for a change now because you can see it's still bleeding. So and I'm not I'm not supposed to pick anything up above 2 kilos. I'm doing my best, but I have a child who
of course wants a hug.
Needs a dad sometimes. So
of course,
I'm being super mindful. I'm not obviously picking plates or bars or anything working wise, but there's still situations where I can't avoid moving, and obviously it's affected it a little bit. But tell you what, it gives me a newfound respect for mums giving birth and then getting back to weight training. Seriously, with separated abdomen walls and all this sort of stuff, you just don't realize how
not just that, but also separated vagina.
Everything else is had gone through trauma.
But how much you use. One of the thing that I noticed was I grabbed a 1 liter milk. Not even a full 1 liter milk, which is a kilo at its fullest, and just reaching out and grabbing it. Obviously, there's an automatic transverse abdominis brace there that I felt it straight away. I was like, all right, you don't realize how much you use certain muscles automatically just to help you function. So,
wow,
yeah.
And then obviously, we had the Gold Coast winter show.
Yeah, that was stressing me out in bed. I was like, nah, I can't fucking. I can't miss, and you guys had no time and no notice.
Yeah.
I had the surgery Thursday. We were flying out Friday.
Yeah.
I had the surgery Thursday at midnight, so basically Friday.
Yeah.
So, it was just
Scotty and I got on the phone and obviously had to cancel your flight. You weren't going to come, of course. Scotty hadn't planned to come because he'd been away from home for a month and a half or more.
Oh, yeah.
And he should be staying home as well. And we were going to be able to run the show with the 3 of us, Stu, myself, and yourself. But then knowing you weren't coming, cancelling your flight, even if Scotty wanted to come, it was going to cost a freaking arm and a leg.
Yeah, it was almost $2,000.
Yeah, because school holiday,
and you're like, no, we've got.
I was like, we've got heaps of helpers. Don't worry about it. So I had to go to your gym, pick up all the stock, to bring to the show. The show was fine.
Yeah,
successful as fine.
As long as you're there, everything's going to be fine. There's still an element of stress that comes with it.
Of course, there was nothing to stress about, but I get it.
For you having to do that running around, me feeling like you don't want to let anybody down, but timing right. So
it was. I was tired coming off the back of Bali.
Of course.
But when I travelled there that Friday night, because the show was on the Saturday, I brought meal prep with me, ready to go, because I wanted to get into the room, eat and go to bed.
Smart.
That's all I wanted to do. And I think I sent you guys a video of the room and the beds where MG would have been sleeping next to me.
Yeah, we're 2 single beds with a gap that much. Wish you were here. So. And I was like, am I hallucinating on fentanyl, or is that actually is that like an invitation?
Yeah, that could have been you and me. But the show was great. It was the first show of the winter season. It was history when you think about it.
Oh, for sure.
It's the first natural bodybuilding show that is part of a dedicated season with the Nationals, and it's never been done before. So
there still is no other Nationals.
No, not
there's other natural shows happening, but there is no other nationals yet.
So it was a bit of a historic moment. I said that to the athletes when I was on stage, and then Stewie also repeated that when he did the announcement and the opening of the show. It was a bit of a proud moment to be like,
for sure,
we're starting something that obviously is going to be a foundation throughout the season. So, but otherwise, the show was awesome, and we've got so many great helpers, and some of them are on the retreat. Andrea, Nerida, she brought her daughter as well. We had Matt and Rochelle, which they were awesome. So a lot of other helpers. So we had it covered there. We have a great support crew, and the venue we had to lay down the floor, and that was fine. Like obviously
the way we packed it down,
we unpacked it, labeled it, rolled it out, taped it up, put it down.
Easier than last time, huh?
It was easier, and we
not having to cut it. We knew it was going to be easier.
It was
like a jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah. So we rolled that out. I think we got the floor laid in about an hour.
Awesome.
And the whole bump out of the whole venue, I mean, like cleaning everything and the floor and everything, all out by 45 minutes.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Insane.
So, and that's
awesome.
Obviously a testament to all the help we had. It was incredible. But yeah, it was good. So that was that. Do you want to reflect on the retreat at all? Obviously, we had the retreat. Last potty was in the retreat.
I think some of the questions were retreat.
Some of the questions were
well. So
I know we got a lot of messages from all the participants. Some of them were pretty overwhelming. Like I know we read Zach's one in the plane, and you're like, check what he said, check this out. And
it was amazing.
You know, I think one of the questions that you sent me through that came through the potty was like, people are saying that the retreat was life-changing. It was, for some people it was.
Yeah, it was.
It made a massive difference to them. Especially people that obviously don't have any other people around them in their environment that are into their goals, into their fitness, into their sport. Now they do.
They fucking do now.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's been the biggest sort of takeaway from everybody is like, it's kind of life changing for me too, to be honest, man. Like, being in that environment where everyone's like waking up and just throwing down daily with themselves.
Yeah.
But you've got 17 people around you, like pushing you to places you've never been before. It was like, even though, you know, we are the ones that are coordinating and running it was inspiring for me.
Yeah.
Seeing people who were shy on day 1, on day 7, pushing beyond failure.
Yeah.
Dripping sweat, pouring off, high-fiving, guys coaching girls, girls coaching guys. There was no hierarchy. There was no like levels of like who's a pro, who's a first timer, who's part of TMG and who's with that coach. It was just like this insanely oiled unit of people who just wanted to uplift each other, and it felt like that.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. And there was no segregation.
None.
There was obviously a group of people that were a certain age, the younger group, and then there was the older group and mums, etc. But everyone was
together,
connecting with everyone. They were hanging out together. There was all like little groups, but they weren't cliques. It's like those people were hanging out with those people, but then they would also hang out with the rest of them, and they'd go and have, you know, dinner together and go and do other activities together and things like that. It was awesome. Yeah, absolutely amazing.
Do you want to just touch on the inaugural awards?
Yeah. Go ahead.
So one of the things that we put together, which is now going to become, you know, a big part of every retreat, is basically some awards, which will very soon have some pretty sick prizes that come along with them, as in a memento for these winners. But the 3 categories were based on, and they actually have titles. So there was a workhorse award, which is like awarded to the person who, like, from a training intensity perspective, was just, you know, that you couldn't really go anymore and just continue to level up. There was the Scholar Award, which was the 3 of us gave lectures as part of the week retreat. And it was for, you know, the person we felt really engaged the most, took the most away from it, got involved, and was really present in the lectures. And then the final one was the Courage to Connect Award, which is, you know, and a lot of people, you know, were in the running for this, but someone who was, you know, willing to step outside their comfort zone and come on a retreat knowing not a single human being. And there were lots of those people. I mean, they know us, but they don't know us. They know who we are.
Who we are, yeah.
Or we might have crossed paths at a show and said hello, but, you know, someone who really got outside their comfort zone and then just continued to uplift everybody else, even though they knew no one.
Yeah.
So those 3 awards, Courage to Connect, Scholar, and Workhorse, will be awarded at every single retreat. And as I said, there's some pretty cool stuff we're having created at the moment for those winners. So
that whole we presented those awards at the end of the retreat. Obviously, we spoke who we thought would be the best person for each of those awards, but we also presented everyone with their certificate as well. That whole presentation was really emotional, overwhelming. I don't know, like a lot of people got up and there was a lot of tears.
Like I had goosebumps the whole time. I was showing everyone. I was like, it's 30 degrees. These are goosebumps.
That was one of the bigger moments for me is seeing everyone get up and just the appreciation they had for the whole group and the whole experience and some of the kind words they had, not only for us, but also for each other as well. There were some people that were, naming certain people and saying how much they changed their life by being in their presence and getting to know them. So, that was a really, really cool thing to see as well. Yeah. Anything you want to add, Scotty?
No, everything surmised. It was for a lot of them. I definitely think it was life changing. I think just people, for me, like I said to everyone when we first got there talking about what our goals were for the week, and for me it was to have that unity and for people to evolve and to leave the retreat in a better headspace, but also physically better, mentally better, emotionally better, and with I guess you could say a bit more of a wider circle. And I think every single one of them, as you said in that sort of little ceremony that we had at the end, the wrap up for the retreat, hearing all of them speak about their experience and where they're at, to see them just evolve. It was almost like some of them you just saw them blossom as the week unfolded. They just continued to get better and better and better in terms of the way they communicated, connected, the way that they were training, and just it was towards the end it was like this massive family holiday. That's what it looked like. Like there was just this pack of these bodybuilders that were off doing their own thing, and hearing about some of the things that they did when we weren't there and how they were really open and honest and raw with each other. And I think for a lot of them that was such a big deal to feel that it was kind of like that really safe space, and to look in from afar. Like I tend to observe a lot and to just watch who's talking to who, how they are, and as you said, getting some of those messages after from people and just hearing the experience that they've had and the impact that we as a collective were able to have on them. Like that's really rewarding. Like for me, that was one of the things that I was hoping to get out of it, and to know that we did that in spades is a massive win.
Yeah.
Can I just give one example of a person who, like this person, just watching them come out of their shell, and I've always loved this person, but like how cool it was watching Earl.
I thought you were gonna say
Earl. You know what? Like everyone knows he's a great guy, but maybe sometimes I think Earl's words were like, I don't really like a lot of people, but and I stay quiet to myself. But at the end of the week, he was just like a boss. He'd come out of his shell. He was helping everybody with training, with posing, and watching that evolution in a 7-day period was for me like one of the most purest things I've seen in a long time.
He also gave a lot of insights during your presentation.
He was awesome.
Yeah,
because he's obviously a teacher psychology.
He teaches psychology,
and we brought him into our presentations because we respect his knowledge and his opinion, and the way he entered into those lectures was really, really tasteful and with respect to
no ego,
yeah, which I really loved about him. Even though on the topic I presented of, he should have probably been the one doing the presentation because he's so knowledgeable. But just watching somebody like that go through the week and end where they were, that to me was as great, maybe even better than any award I've ever won, coached, or seen somebody win. Those type of outcomes are so much more special, man.
I don't want to pick people because they're all absolutely amazing people, but another standout was Shay.
Yeah,
Shay, never been overseas.
That's right.
And knew no one at all on the retreat. And she was someone that we didn't know anything about her as well. She just messaged the potty page, said, I want to come, sent her the link. She paid up front straight away. Done. Like, okay, Shay's coming. We don't know who Shay is, but she's coming.
She's going.
And at the airport, we didn't know who she was. And then I messaged her saying, we're here, we're in the terminal, where are you? She came over, she was a bit shy. But then she became besties with everyone.
She's like my little sister already.
A group of them stayed on after the retreat and built some amazing friendships. And she had so many kind words to say about us and about the retreat experience, you can have a look at our social media. But there's a special mention there. That's completely out of your comfort zone when you don't know anyone and you've never been overseas before.
Yeah, 100%. So we could do 3 episodes.
Just on
retreat moments.
People, moments.
Anyway, if you have the opportunity, get on one. Experience it for yourself.
100%.
Speak to somebody who's been on one and let them tell you their individual stories, because everybody's got different stories as to why it affected them, but the overriding message is the same. It's like you leave better and you leave feeling like you've got your spark back.
Yeah. And on that, we will be opening the expression of interest for people to lock in their spot. Now, obviously, we send it to all the most recent participants first, and we are going to try to increase the amount of participants we're going to have because we've had so much interest, but we've already filled half the spots by just more than half.
More than half, a lot more.
So there's not many left. But we will be advertising it. We'll be sending the link out. So jump onto it as quick as you possibly can, because spots will go, and it's going to be the 1st of March next year.
Yeah. And guys, you don't need to be coached by any of us.
No, you don't. No, of course not. No. And
lots of people that have been on it aren't coached by us. It's not for our athletes only.
Yeah. And we're only running 1 a year at the moment. We've had thoughts about 2, but we're just got to manage our time and our commitments at the moment. But so everyone jump onto that. The other thing was we announced the T-shirts, and we gave some of them away to the people that won the awards. So the NBA podcast T-shirts. So some people may have seen them, that we gave that as part of the awards for those 3 awards that you spoke about. But they are now live to purchase as well. We'll be advertising the link to get those. So again, there's only a limited number and a limited run, and that's it. We're not making any more. We're just going to do that one run, and then we'll swap it out for something else in the future once they're all sold out. So jump onto them as well, because they're going to go really, really fast. You'll see on the website, there's a size guide. There's everything you need there. You'll see all the photos. You might have seen some of us wear them on the retreat, or some people that won them wear them already. So jump onto them. And then after they're sold, then we'll think about what we're going to do next from a merch perspective. Yeah, that's it. That's all the recent updates. Ready for some questions?
Yeah.
Let's do it. All right, cool. Do you want to start from the start?
Yeah, I'll just go all over the place. Just mix and match. Just do like luck of the draw.
Okay, well,
let's just fucking
the IFBB show was on the weekend, so we had a couple of questions about that.
Yep.
Was there any standout athletes?
Yeah.
And what did you think about the natural IFBB show? Did you have a chance to watch any of it?
I did.
You did? Okay.
I did.
Give us your thoughts.
So standouts, DC. DC was
oh yeah, Dan.
Was awesome.
Yeah.
Size, condition, posing. I thought he was the standout of the whole show for me
by 100%.
By a long
I
way.
agree. He was amazing.
By a mile.
Yeah, he was just on point. So shout out to him. I mean, not that anyone expected anything less, but he really brought it all together beautifully. I thought he looked razor sharp. I thought his posing was awesome. It was a delight to watch. He looked full. He won on size and he won on condition. So was not even close.
Yeah.
I actually thought the quality and the type of athlete that were there, to me, did genuinely look natural.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was going to be that was kind of like what I was keeping a close eye on, is like, is it somebody that potentially has used pharmacology for 10 years, stopped for 2, still quite large men's physique was kind of where I was really looking for that.
Yeah.
And is it just like, the IFBB boys we met in Bali that were doing the men's physique guys who, their one pec was the size of my whole body. Like, was it going to be that guy who just stopped for 2 years?
Yeah.
But I think, the level of size matched what I would have expected at a natural show. So for me, I think it's something that, I personally would consider doing myself now.
Yeah.
And I'd be comfortable setting my athletes too as well.
Yeah.
It's one show. Keen to see what the next couple of states look like as well. But first impressions for me, big tick.
Yeah. I was really happy. I'm a massive advocate of mid-year. And for them to get those numbers, it just shows that there's competitors that want to do the mid-year season, and it's alive, and it will keep going. So I'm really grateful that they had success. We've obviously had success as well. So it's only good things for the industry. So I think it was awesome. And I really hope that they get good numbers for all their remaining shows, as do we.
For sure.
And we can just show and represent that natural bodybuilding is alive in the mid-year as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah. BK, also competed bodybuilding.
Yeah, he did.
He looked awesome. Looked absolutely awesome. I know those boys now are flying overseas.
Yeah, they're doing the Taiwan show.
Yeah, so they want to get their qualification in Australia as you need to with IFBB to then compete overseas. So looking forward to how all that goes with those guys there, and wish them all the best because they're amazing athletes and also amazing custodians of the sport as well.
Mm-hmm. They are, yeah.
All right. While we're talking about this, can you use any form of diuretics in natural bodybuilding?
Not like legitimate diuretics, but if you're using like dandelion tea and shit like that, it doesn't do anything.
Natural stuff, yeah.
Raw chicken?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do
appendicitis.
raw chicken. Otherwise, you can brush your teeth with the Balinese water.
Yeah. Well,
actually, poor
Roxy on the retreat.
So I didn't realize she was sick. I'm like, I haven't heard from her, so she must be all good. But she was.
She got belly.
So on the last day, walking to lunch, and she's like, "Hey, Scotty, do you reckon
No,
if I swap, you were there?
I remember she wasn't. But I thought she got
right.
through it.
And I was like, well, she didn't say it was her, and so she was just giving me facts, and I was like, oh, I reckon if you had that, you'd be feeling pretty fucking shit. And
so
she's
she
like,
swallowed
because I did, and then I'm like, oh, actually,
but it's you, so you'll be fine. You're an opposite.
It's probably not that bad.
You're RD and you're strong.
You're gonna feel sick. You probably would have felt something.
So
but
she
in my head,
swallowed some shower water.
Some shower water. She accidentally drank it. Like sometimes you can
whatever. It goes in your mouth and you swallow it. Yeah.
And she just had a bit of cramps, and then she just wasn't quite right. She didn't come to the last dinner at the Mulia, the night of, and then we're all messaging her. She's like, yeah, I don't feel amazing, but I'm just going to go to bed. She went to bed, and she wasn't really sick overnight. She said she didn't really feel great the next day, just some sort of tummy pain. I'm like, maybe you just got some cramps. If it was me, if you have got a pathogen there that's nasty, just starve it, don't eat, just drink fluids, Bacardi sweat, something like that with some electrolytes. But otherwise, I'd keep it really, really minimal, knowing that you're going to fly. You don't want to be eating in the bathroom on an airplane.
On an airplane, yeah.
So by all accounts, I was under the impression she was okay. And then when she got back, she just, which thankfully, if you're going to get Bali belly having it at home, she just copped it hard. And then had to go get antibiotics and get it sorted. I think she's okay now. I'm actually going to check up her next today. I had that actually in my reminder.
Yeah. Do you want to open
it? No, it's a voice message.
Okay, cool. Okay. Yeah, so I sent her a reminder to send her a message to see, how she's doing. But it's one of those things. Once you get back, it's usually a couple of days of discomfort, and then you usually get back to normal. It gives you such an appreciation. The first thing I did when I got home, before I had a shower, was just stick my head underneath the faucet to just like drink some ice cold water. I'm like,
brush your teeth with the tap water.
Because I was in the UK as well, and you can drink their water, but they have lime scale, and the tap water there actually upset my stomach. So I was drinking bottled water all the time because it just didn't sit right. So, it was nice to have some cold water. But yeah, poor Rox copped it, but hopefully she's.
So that's not a way to have a diuretic either.
No, but if you have enough of that water, you will induce a similar result where you could drop weight real quick.
Yeah. While we're talking about similar topic, where is it? I'll find it in a second. Give me 1 sec. Yeah, a friend tried testosterone must be, for 2 weeks when he was 18 and stopped because he hated needles. He's wanting to compete now, 5 years later. Does this stop him from being natty and passing the verified test?
Not if he's outside the scope of the 5-year window.
Yeah, he's got to be outside the scope. Yeah.
He also didn't really get the benefit of tests from only 2 weeks. I mean, it depends on what the compound was. If it was propanate, maybe.
Context,
he will fail that test though.
So
it depends on the exact time.
He'll fail.
The test will last 5 years, so the date's important.
So I had this conversation because I have an athlete that I work with who is being natty for the last 3 years, but when he had first started training, his trainer gave him some peptides. Didn't know what the fuck he was taking. He was taking them for about 4 weeks, and he's like, "Nah, it's not for me."
Good, yeah.
And so he volunteered that information when we spoke about it.
Good.
And so he was like, "Oh, would that technically?" I'm like, "Look, for me, you are natty, but based on the rules, and especially for me, and obviously principle, you can't compete in any federation that has that time scale. So I'm like, for NBA, you wouldn't be eligible to do that until year 2027, etc. Because then when you do get asked that test, you have outside of that.
Yeah.
But I mean, for me, if I had someone that was fully on cycle and then there's a 5-year window, there's actually research that shows that it still can kind of hang around and just to do with satellite cells and your ability to still retain tissue if you're still resistance training. So for me, I reckon that 5-year window is almost this is a conversation we're going to have for another time, but maybe even like elongated it a little bit further.
Longer,
but I think for instances like that, or someone takes 2 weeks, there's no benefit that's going to come from that that's going to allow you to be at a different level. I think it's different if you're like a serious IFBB competitor that's been, running
for years,
compounds for multiple years, and then you jump off and then you jump back on. That's a different kettle of fish. So for that person, you would definitely fail if you're within that scope, because it does ask the questions around within a 5-year time frame. And even if you're trying to tell yourself, oh, it's been over 5 years, if it hasn't, like we said, you can say something, but the eyes don't lie, and this technology is very, very, very precise and accurate, and so you would get unstuck. But if it has been outside of that, you would know internally it's been 5 years.
So when you do the test,
you don't have anything to stress about, because it's been outside, that timestamp. So.
But they would pass a piss test.
Oh, of course you would.
So
you could be running.
That's why if you're going to do a federation that does piss tests.
This is the whole thing. You can be running compounds throughout your entire prep, and even potentially into the week of the show. And unless you're running bloods or hair testing, there's every chance that whatever is in your system is not going to show up.
Yeah.
And even then, on something like test, if you're within the range, as long as your free test levels and sex hormone binding globulin are within the scope, who's to say that you weren't using it, or they could be slightly elevated because
whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Unless they were absolutely off the charts outside that scope, it makes it a bit trickier, which is why there probably are a lot of people who could still be taking those compounds. And then if you run a test, they might be within the parameters. But anyone knows that's been a natty that gets inside out, those levels, free testosterone, sex hormone binding globulin, all of those numbers are in the toilet.
Mine was minus 50 probably.
Yeah.
I think mine was 1.
Because you think about it, because you don't have any of that production, because you're down to really, really, essential levels of body composition. So sex hormone production is an energetically, costly demand. So your body says, we don't have the energy.
Until Michael Chimboli walks in the room, and then I go from 6th to midnight real fast.
Yeah. Even then, in prep, you just...
No, you're not thinking
you're not thinking about that. But on that, because obviously all the other natty feds, except for WMBF, they do the other poly, which... Anyways, they're all doing piss test. And even, I know it came up on the weekend with IFBB, someone calling out an athlete saying,
I know this athlete.
I know this athlete's on.
Was on.
They're going to pass the piss test, but they're not natty within the 3 years or whatever it's supposed to be for IFBB. And they actually reached out to us at NBA months ago about this person, and this person didn't register for our show because they knew they would have got caught.
We also had people...
Yeah, it's pretty big giveaway.
We also had people register.
And not turn up.
We had people register for a membership to do our show, and then we made the announcement, and then we didn't actually have people decide to do our show. We actually took a bit of a hit as far as our numbers are concerned, which we knew was going to happen, but it was a choice that we made.
Of course. About integrity,
wanting to make the sport better. If we didn't give a shit about that and we wanted to make money, we would have just either...
kept piss testing and thrown it down the sink. Yeah.
Even then, but even the piss testing we were doing last year, what was annoying me is we're paying all this money to send it overseas, and you're not going to catch anyone because no one is it's so easy to get around that or work around.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things versus obviously the new modality we have. And if we really wanted to get people, you could do hair testing, but that's fucking expensive and no one's going to allow you to cut that.
I think what we've got is pretty robust. Yeah. I don't know why this one here is MG. How many voice memos or messages has MG sent since the retreat? Side note, I've sent many.
Do you remember what I asked everybody at the retreat to do?
No.
Remember I said,
oh, yes.
Send somebody who's on this retreat at a random time.
Yes.
Pick up your phone, send a voice note. Hey, hope you're having a great day. Go and kill it today. I'm thinking of you. Go, I've sent
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, but I've also been fucking bedridden, and so
you got nothing better to do. But
anyone who was on the retreat has probably got a voicemail from me already. I've almost messaged every single person. But awesome. You know what? Just to know that somebody else is actually doing it.
Yeah.
I got a voice memo from Earl.
Oh, you got one from
Earl?
Oh,
yeah.
Far out, you're a lucky guy.
I got a fucking voice memo from Earl, and it's fucking elite.
Is it?
Yeah. It's actually fucking elite.
Is it? Okay, cool.
Yeah, he's such a legend.
It's awesome.
So, do you know one thing I have seen a bit this week is people posting on their stories, it's a great day to have a great day.
Yeah, I saw that too. I sent one to Nerida. I sent one to Hannah. about this one set that she did on this single leg Bulgarians in the Smith machine.
Oh, in the Smith machine, she was going crazy.
Like, and I remember I was like, fucking voice memo.
Yeah.
So it makes a difference, man. And every person's been like, thanks, really needed that today. Appreciate it. So for anyone that isn't sort of getting along what I'm saying, I always encourage people to like pick up your phone, send somebody that you think might just be in need of a compliment, piece of encouragement, piece of motivation, 10, 20, 30-second voice memo just to say, hey, today's your day. Go out there and fucking dominate. And you just never know how far that can go for someone. So,
and if you want something a little bit more in depth, listen to the previous potty where Scotty did the speech that he was going to give.
I'm going to get tattooed across my ribcage in memory of my appendix.
While we're talking about training, if you start a workout and run out of time, and you don't get to finish it, doesn't matter if you pick it up several hours later.
Doesn't matter, like in the sense of if you didn't get all of the volume that you're trying to get,
all the exercises,
the quality of what you're doing. I mean, you think about if I did, let's say I'm training pull. I was training pull earlier. If I did everything I got through my vertical pulls and only got through half of my rows, and then about an hour, 2 hours later, 3 hours later, I go back in and do them. If you've trained hard, I don't know about you guys, whenever I train back, there's almost an acute inflammatory response where I start to feel tight. Like you can tell that you've really exposed the tissue to stress. I would say that you're probably not going to be able to get that same return. And also for me, I'm like, the state of arousal you need to be in to go in there originally to crush it, to try and come back up to that level. I know this is just me personally. I'm probably not going to be able to come back up to that level to train at that intensity. So the quality is probably not going to be there. Therefore, total load move is probably not going to be where it needs to be. But if you're like, I only have time to do the compound bit, I'm going to do the isolations later, and I'm going to get more food in me, and I'll feel better, then, sure, there's nothing wrong with that. I think if you're compartmentalizing it like that.
So could I give you a scenario, and then you just say which one you pick? So let's say it was 6 exercises, and I had time to do 4, and I sent it with those 4. I fucking sent it. And I almost walked out feeling how you just explained. And I know it's going to be really hard for me to get back up. I'm almost better just leaving it there for that day.
Potentially.
But bear in mind, two of those 4 were, say it was legs, it was a hip hinge and a press or a squat. So they were decent movement patterns. And there was a unilateral and an isolation as part of the 4. And I really sent it. And I know I can't get back to that level without multiple hours and maybe multiple meals. There is no right or wrong answer, but is it like maybe that was enough, knowing that you're probably not going to be able to gear up to get back where you were?
If that was me, I would leave it there, and the volume I missed, I would then distribute that over other sessions throughout the week. Because if you're thinking about,
that's good.
In an ideal world, you want to, if you're looking at, and everyone keeps chopping and changing, 10 sets is the minimum is all you need, 20. For me, you want to have the minimum amount of sets that you can induce a response. If you're getting stronger and the quality and execution of your lift is there's a good chance, and if you're continually getting stronger, that you're acquiring new contractile tissue. The two are usually going to be aligned to an extent. So if you're able to do that, and I think in some ways, if you're aiming for 20 sets a week, if you find that you can absolutely crush it for 7 sets within a session, and then you add another 7, if you're able to lift heavier and produce more volume than if you were to do 10 and 10, maybe the first 7 are good and the last 3 are dog shit, then maybe you get more response there. With a lot of my girls that I train that train glutes multiple times, we distribute our volume over 3 sessions.
Yeah, more sessions.
And for guys that are specializing, say might be an arms phase, same thing. You might split it over 3 different sessions, 1 isolated session. But I think if you were a full-time bodybuilder, like for my job was to just literally be a pro bodybuilder, you're going to eat, you're going to sleep, you're going to train. I would, if it was like legs or if it was push-pull related, I would probably do the compound bit maybe around about 11 o'clock with 2 meals in me, and I'd come back after 2 more meals, and then I'd do the isolations and fucking get after it, because you've got ample time to recover. If you're a uni student, you're at home, you guys all know Big Zach. One of the reasons he got as big as what he did at such a young age is because from the ages of 16 to 21, all he did was eat, sleep, train, and that's literally how he split his training.
He did 2 days in the
morning, and then he would do all of his isolations like bicep tries in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Or he would just do biceps in the afternoon, but he'd fucking annihilate them.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too when I read this. I was like, if you could separate it in a way where the exercise that you did afterwards later on were like isolations, you didn't really hit those muscles in the
and
first workout.
And taxing.
Yeah, easy to recover
then that's
from it.
cool. But The only one I don't think would work would be legs, because say for instance you did all your say you had quads and hams, and you did all your compound quads and hams, and you had to go back and just do leg extensions and leg curls. It'd be like
already feeling
waste of time.
I wouldn't do
But
it.
if you were doing quads and hams, and you did all the quads and no hams, and you did all the hams later, I'd be like, cool, you split the muscle groups up, so you could do it that way. It works well for upper, because you'd be like, okay, I've done all my compound upper, and I'll just do bis, tris, side delts and rear delts, and I'm done. That's fine. Like that would be a great way to do it. But
does it sound like he's saying hams weird?
hams?
Yeah. Say it again.
Hams?
No, that's like that sounded
Quads
funny.
and
It's like you're saying hums.
hums. Quads and hamstrings.
Quads and
hums.
Like
Yeah,
arms.
it was like
Hums.
hums.
Yeah.
Do you hamstrings?
Ja, Ja, så det.
Do you-
Ja, så det kan det.
Do we want to do another one?
One more.
One more.
I'm busting.
You gonna go to the bathroom?
Is that coconut water?
It is coconut water. I told you I've been cramping like.
Bit of potassium, huh?
Okay, I'll keep it short, because there's a couple of ones that could probably go on for a little bit of time. When are you competing next, and how are you feeling? This must be for you. You must put this one in there.
Yeah, well, you know how I'm feeling. I was 3 days out from the show, but I got to fed the
You
side.
want to do Gold
I
Coast?
was gonna do both shows. I was gonna do NBA and IPB, but yeah, I will be back. I will be back. How far out? I'm a long way out.
Yeah.
Fucking long way out. No training for 6 weeks. I messaged Scotty. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna put my protein up to 3 grams per kilo body weight because I'm not training. Anything else like that, it's not really much you can do. But like just to try and reduce as much risk of losing tissue as possible. It's inevitable, but like, yeah, just bumping protein a little bit higher is what I'm doing. But yeah, the fact that I'm gonna have to regrow some of that tissue, which will happen, won't take long.
And also staying at the bare minimum of maintenance means you might get a bit fatter.
Yeah, that was the other thing I asked him is like calorie wise, can I just eat the maintenance? And Scott's like, no, just go a bit above.
Bit above, yeah.
Because we've got your wedding, so I don't want to get unnecessarily heavy. We've got your bucks, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I'm doing.
Well, you're in trouble.
We're going to go through that as well after.
Yeah, we've got to get waivers on and everything.
And your wedding.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. It's all booked. It's done.
Is it?
Awesome. We booked all of the economy.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, obviously.
You know, I said I couldn't sleep last night.
Yeah.
I'm fucking on Qatar's, because I bought all my seats.
Yeah, yeah.
And I can't work out how to add my Virgin freaking flight to the Qatar booking.
Oh, I booked through Virgin.
It asks you to do it when you book it.
A friend of mine who's an agent did it for me. So
Okay.
I just emailed her and said, can you try and add this in?
Yeah, cool.
Start looking to places. Where's the coffee?
No, you know, here's we need some new Scotty Morrell Croatian words.
Okay. One of my things, and I haven't got any yet. I've got a few words and a few little sayings that I'm working on.
Yeah, like, what are you gonna when you stand up and
just for Kiki's family and for Kiki?
When you stand up and raise a glass. What are you saying? What's coming out of your mouth? That's what we want to.
You'll have to wait to see.
Yeah.
Can you turn to him and in Croatian, look him in the eye and give him like
I'm not going to understand it.
Doesn't matter.
Say it to Kiki. All right, let's leave it there. Thanks guys. Great podcast. We'll see you in the next one.